Hi everyone, Ivana Taylor here, and today we are in my kitchen with my morning coffee, and we are doing my zero inbox routine. Now, zero inbox has been around forever and ever, but I've talked to a few folks in my community, and they're like, "What? What? Okay, I'm going to show you how I do it. This is how I run a zero inbox." Okay, so like right now. Let's see, what tab are we in? We are in my primary tab. This is my email. I'm going to kind of make this easy and not talk about things until it's time to talk about them. Right now, there is one email in here. It has been in here since this morning. I have a meeting this afternoon, and this is why this email is staying right here for the time being. I could, if I wanted to, click on this email and I could snooze it. And I can tell it to come back today at 12:30 p.m. because this is going to be right before my meeting. So right before my meeting, this thing is going to pop up and remind me. And now that email is not there to distract me. I believe I have ADD when it comes to these things, and having tons of emails is just so distracting. So let's do a quick tour. I'm using Gmail here. This would also work with Outlook. I don't know that Outlook has these tabs. I know it has like a main tab and a focus tab. So, it's a similar thing. I have 3 categories of tabs in my Gmail. One is called updates. This is usually coming from software companies. It's going to have a verification code on there. So these are emails from organizations and people I want, like a newsletter might come in there or something like that. These are from outside organizations that I actually want to see. Promotions, we all know what promotions are, right? I did not ask for this. This showed up and it's sitting in the promotions tab because for some reason they think that I want this. If I'm like really bored, I may unsubscribe from this or I may report it as spam. If I'm really, really busy, I literally just delete them. I've just sort of been through this process, so I've just deleted a bunch of stuff. So, and of course, primary is from your insider circle. It's from clients. It's from these different things. When an email comes in, the first thing you want to do, at least the first thing I do, is I want to know, where does this email belong? The first round of cleaning is always delete, right? That is the fastest thing you can do. It's going to take you less than 30 seconds, 10 seconds at most. You're just going to click, 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 click all, click whatever, get it out. And that process should take you less than a minute. You should be able to delete anything that does not relate to you, that you're not going to do and that you're, not going to deal with. Okay. The second thing that you want to do is go into your primary tab and you want to say, does this email require me to do something? This particular thing is really more of an update email. It doesn't require me to do anything. Normally, I would just delete it. If an email requires you to do something, okay, I use Google Tasks, and I could literally just plop that email right in there. If it were a task, I would tell it what the task is. I have the email here for reference. I could give it a due date. It's just that easy. And once that's done, I can click on that email and I can archive it in case I need to go back for some reason. So if it's a task, it goes right into the tasks. If it's an appointment, it goes right into the calendar. Whatever the task is, I appropriate that task and I think like, okay, how long is this going to take? I'm going to stick it as a task, right? And in my tasks, these here are emails, like my Costco reward card. It's almost tax time. I have to do something with that, right? So anything can be a task, right? The more, and you can put dates and it can order by date and so on and so forth. But now you're wondering, if you're one of these people that has 12,000 emails in your inbox, how are you going to clean them out? Well, I'm going to show you. This is going to take a little bit of time, but I believe you can clean out a lot of them very, very quickly. And you can do that by using this filters and blocked addresses filter. If you're using Outlook, it's going to say something like rules, right? And in the rules, you can tell it to do a variety of things. For example, I have rules that if an email comes in from another email address, whether it's for a client or from another type of email address that I have, and I have everything funneling into Gmail, I wanted to get a label and I want to know what email address it's from, because that might tell me this is from this client or this is from this project. I want to know that. If I consistently, let's say you have a bunch of emails from Wayfair, okay, and you want to get rid of those emails, all you got to do is literally go in the from address, pull that email, or say must contain Wayfair. You can, maybe the subject or has the words Wayfair or like whatever, but I like to use the email whenever possible. And then you continue to the next screen. And in this case, I've told it to just delete it. I'm not interested in getting any more stuff. Maybe you want to file it into Wayfair coupons. Then you might want to apply a label, and you might want to apply a label and archive it. Skip the inbox, just archive it. And that way you can go back there on your own time and check it out if you want to. For myself, I have found that the emails that I'm telling it to delete, I actually do nothing with. And I've just found that deleting them was the best thing to do. So as I mentioned, if you have emails coming from clients, coming from projects, coming from specific things, a really good idea is to label it. And that label or category or tag, right? Like in this case with Gmail, these labels are all here. I get a variety of newsletters and I've labeled them as topics because these are topic ideas. And as you can see, I love these newsletters. I've opened a lot of them. There's some I haven't opened, but I kind of want to keep them around in case I want to look at them as topic ideas. But it doesn't clutter my inbox, okay? You can have all of these things go into your inbox. I've been in a big conversation with a bunch of SCORE folks that were in a webinar that I did. And you could see, I want to know the fact that they came in through this particular email address means they came in from the email marketing. These ones are labeled SCORE. Sometimes I label them one-on-one so that I know they put SCORE in the name, which is really good. I told folks, if you're going to get in touch with me, make sure you put SCORE in the name. Why? Because then down here, whoa, I have so many of these rules. I said it's got to match SCORE. I want a label and mark it as important because I don't want to miss that message. I don't want it to fall through the cracks. I don't want anything to happen. Just like this, here is a newsletter. Skip the inbox, call it topics, and that's it. This one I kind of want to read and just call it topics. I want to see it. So you can see I've created a bunch of these topics. If I have clients, friends, whatever, I want them marked important. I don't want to miss them. I want them to have a label. I want to know what that email is about as fast as possible. Once I know what that email is about, I can either call it a task, make it an event, or delete it. And deletion comes first, always. Just get that stuff out of there. But when you create these filters, you'll notice that it will just simply, if you want to delete these things, you can delete them right away. It'll just create this category and delete everything. And that is the fastest way to clean that inbox. So you can, if you want to keep them, and I totally get that, you want to keep them, you can create labels. You can have it skip the inbox and end up in that label, and you can reference those emails anytime you want. If you don't want to see them, get them out of there, just delete them. Totally fine. If you want them labeled, you can have them labeled. And so that's going to help you clean that inbox. Now, There's a lot of advice out there, and this all depends on your work style. That advice doesn't work for my work style. Um, I like following that sort of getting things done um, life approach. And one of my favorite tips in that series is where he says, if it's going to take you less than like 3 minutes or something, do it right away. Now, because I can run zero inbox, if you write to me and you ask me something, there's a good chance you're going to get a response very, very quickly, because often that response isn't going to take more than a couple minutes. And I would really, really get exhausted, I personally, by sitting doing email for an hour and writing these long responses. I need more space. I need what I have set up. So the overall tip is you've got to create a workflow and a system that works for you. I have friends who are extremely productive, who have 13,000 emails in their inboxes. They search, they find, they're totally good. For them, this approach is crazy and it feels like it wastes a lot of time. I'm on the other side of that coin. When I see 13,000 emails in my inbox, I get really overwhelmed and stopped by seeing that clutter on my screen. So I have a really difficult time with that. And that's why I run what I run. I don't know if this helps you out at all. That's how I do it. Good luck.